Now what happens?
Hi, Michelle. I'm Charlie from Showbiz Express. How you doing?
Hi, I'm fine. How are you?
Congratulations.
Thank
Very
you.
well, thanks. Just two questions. What was the most fun going into Bob Fosse's world, and what was the most daunting in taking on the role of Gwen Verdon?
The most fun was the singing and the dancing, because when you're singing and dancing, you sort of feel like you're a child. You forget about logic, and you follow a melody and a rhythm. And the hardest thing was probably, I found the aging was difficult too. I'd never really wanted to age on film because I was worried about the prosthetics and not being able to access a real kind of like translucent human quality underneath plastic and things. But I worked with two women who I love, Nicole Bridgeford and Jackie Rosado. They did my hair and makeup, and we just kept refining it to a place where it felt really natural. And so in the end, my favorite part of playing her was playing her when she was 64. Thanks.
Hey, Michelle.
Hi.
Chris Beecham with Gold Derby.
Hi.
What do you think Gwen Verdon would have to say about tonight?
Old Gwen or young Gwen?
Either one.
It's so hard. It's hard to put words into somebody's mouth. I'm sure that she would have, whenever I meet somebody who knew her, the thing that they say over and over again was she was just the kindest person I ever knew. And so I'm sure that she would have nothing but warmth and loveliness and hugs and champagne bubbles about tonight.
Michelle,
Yes.
Angela Bishop from Network 10 Australia, congratulations.
Thank you.
You spoke brilliantly, might I say, about pay parity, and you made a plea.
Thank you.
Was it hard for you to achieve that, and was what had happened on All the Money in the World part of what influenced you to really fight your own fight?
It was very much. It woke me up. I think that I'd always known how difficult it was. I'd known from the inside how difficult it was to feel like you were ever really getting ahead, and it felt like no matter how many accolades I amassed, I still couldn't make that translate into like your retirement money or something that really felt like long-term security. And so the discrepancy in All the Money in the World was so huge that it really illustrated a larger point, not just for myself, obviously, but as I've said before, if it was this difficult for me, a white woman in a privileged industry, how difficult is it for women of color across all industries? And so while tonight is a kind of like fairy tale ending for me and for my own personal story, there really won't be any satisfaction for me until the larger message is heard, and that's what I really wanted to point out tonight. When you look at the numbers, 52% on the dollar is what a Hispanic woman will make compared to a white male. 62%, the numbers rise incrementally as you go on. The numbers aren't out yet for Native women, but they expect them to be worse than for Hispanic women. Thank you.
And we have time for just one more question.
Michelle.
Michelle, hi, Libby from IndieWire.
Hi, Libby.
I know that you spoke about Nicole and Jackie and working closely with them throughout the process.
Yes.
What does it feel like knowing that their work too was recognized at the Creative Arts Emmys Awards last weekend?
Thank you so much for asking that. It felt like something had come full circle. When we embarked on this journey together, we really didn't know each other that well. And because the journey to aging Gwen was so delicate and so difficult, because as Gwen aged, she didn't become in and down. She actually aged up and out, kind of like a flower going towards the sun. So how do you make somebody at once older but still luminous and efforting to be younger? It's a huge challenge, and both Jackie and Nicole, they're young women, and they are, in a sense, early in their careers, but they stayed inside of the process with me, and they were never afraid to look at problems and say, this thing still isn't working, it's still not working, and we kept refining and being as meticulous as possible while treating each other with a lot of love and respect. And And so as a result, we've become sort of bonded for life because we went on this journey together and we were honest with each other, but we were kind with each other. And because of that, I really share this with them because I definitely couldn't have done it without them because it required so much help. And they were there for me every second of every take of every scene. So thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.